I never forgot that go dofful rumblite wasn't my morning coffee alarm, but the thunder of excavators tearing into my mom's front yard. By the time I yanked on my jeans and bolted outside, her cozy ranch house, the heart of our family for 4 decades, was already buckling under massive steel tracks, dust billowing like a desert storm. My mom, frail at 82, stood there on the sidewalk in her robe, gripping a faded quilt her grandma had sewn, watching as chunks of her life crumbled away. The HOA president, Barbara Hayes, stood tall with her arms folded, a smug grin plastered on her face as she yelled to the crew, "Push through, we got a community center expansion to finish." What she didn't know, what none of those power-hungry busybodies realized, was that in less than a day, she'd be sweating in my courtroom, scrambling to justify how her little fiefdom thought it could bulldoze a widow's home without consequences. This isn't just about a flattened house site, it's about fighting back against bullies in khakis, reclaiming what's right, and the sweet burn of payback when the underdog bites back hard. Our suburb in suburban Dallas wasn't always a war zone. Pine Ridge was the kind of place where folks mowed lawns on Saturdays, kids rode bikes till dusk, and barbecues spilled into the street. Mom's house on Oakwood Drive was a simple split level with peeling blue shutters and a creaky screen door that sang in the wind. It wasn't fancy, but it had soul the kind built from scraped knees in the backyard and holiday dinners that lingered till midnight. Then came the HOA, Pine Ridge Estates Association, a bunch of self-righteous types who treated rules like gospel. Barbara Hayes ran it like her personal kingdom, with her power suit and a planner thicker than a phone book. Her sidekicks, Mark Reynolds, the bean counter treasurer who crunched numbers like they were enemies; Karen Foster, head of compliance, who measured everything with a laser level and savored the word violation like fine wine; and Susan Grant, the newsletter queen who fired off emails at dawn with best wishes that felt like veiled threats. They unveiled their grand Horizon Plan 2040 at a town hall, all glossy flyers promising green spaces, upgraded playgrounds, and get TSAN expanded community center with extra rooms for yoga classes and meetings. The blueprint showed a big red X over 3 older homes, including Mom's, to make way for the addition. At first, it was subtle, a friendly email about neighborhood upgrades and a survey asking if we'd love more event space. Mom chuckled it off, stirring her peach cobbler. "They'll pivot to a pickleball court by spring," she said, her Texas twang steady from years as a schoolteacher. But these folks didn't do subtle for long. The citations rolled in like junk mail. Unauthorized fence height variance 0.2 inches over limit. Karen showed up with her gadget to prove it. Non-standard mailbox design must be matte gray. Mom's was a cheerful red from the 80s. Excessive yard decor. Wind chimes creating noise pollution. Each one was slapped with fines and a 7-day fixed deadline. I hit the next HOA meeting, a stuffy affair in the clubhouse smelling of stale donuts and desperation. Barbara sat on a podium under a fake palm tree poster. I stood up. "My mom's 82, lives alone, and this house is her everything. Can we talk about reasonable adjustments under fair housing laws?" Barbara tapped her mic. "Uniform standards protect equity for all." Mark chimed in about liability risks from deviations. Karen waved her laser. "We verified the fanciet's non-conforming." Laughter rippled when old Mr. Jenkins piped up. "They fined me for my wheelchair ramp set it clashed with curb appeal." Barbara smiled thinly. "We accommodate within guidelines." Afterward, I overheard Mark muttering about maximizing square footage if we relocate the holdouts. A for sale sign popped up next door, and a flyer landed on Mom's stoop. "Attractive buyout offer start fresh." Mom, I don't like trash. "They think age means weakness," she said, more puzzled than pissed. I tried coffee with Barbara, neighbor style, on her patio with mugs saying live, laugh, lawn care. She spouted about centralizing amenities and fire code compliance. When I asked about city permits, she brushed it off, details in progress. Turns out, her hubby owned the contracting firm bidding on the job no conflict, she claimed. The harassment ramped up. Warning for mom's birdhouse, attracting pests. Citation for porch light. Too yellow must be LED, cool white. Susan emailed at 1 a.m. about bin lids. Neighbors whispered to me. They banned our kids, trampoline safety hazard. Find me for door color. Sunrise gold versus approved harvest wheat identical shades. It wasn't rules. It was warfare, building resentment like a pressure cooker. I sent a formal letter citing laws for elderly accommodations, requesting mediation. Denied flat out, with a final improvement notice attached date for site prep starting in a week. Mom's lot highlighted. Authorization? Bogus, I bet. No city stamps match public records. That night, Mom polished her old door knocker out of routine, asking, "What now?" I said, "We document. We wait, then we strike smart." We flipped through albums. Dad's barbecue pit. He dug himself. Neighborhood potlucks where laughs echoed. The calm before the storm. Trouble brewed quietly at first, like humidity before a Texas downpour. Karen started snapping pics of Mom's driveway cracks from across the street. Routine survey, she called. By week's end, another letter. Pavement degradation remedy, SAP. Fines piled up, shaking Mom's hands as she read them. "Like I'm a criminal," she murmured. Mr. Jenkins knocked one evening. They did me the same fines till I caved and sold. That word sold lit a fire in me. I confronted Barbara during an inspection with Mark tagging along. "Harassing a widow for your pet project?" Barbara sneered. "Enhancing values your mom's place drags us down." Mom from the porch. "My husband poured the foundation himself. You can't paper over that." Barbara spun. "We'll see." Mom tossed and turned that night. I found her staring at Dad's old clock. "They're coming for it." I vowed not without a fight. The eviction notice hit like a gut punch. Property reallocation due to persistent violations, demolition imminent. I raced to City Hall. Permits were rubber-stamped fakes tied to Hayes Contracting. I copied it all ammo. Mom dug up buried jars of Dad's coin stash in the garden. "If they bury us, save this." My rage solidified. They're digging their grave. Dawn broke with engines snarling. Mom, in her nightgown, clutching her Bible, as diggers ripped into the lawn. I yelled, "Stop!" but Barbara waved forged papers. Progress marches on. The machine gouged the porch. Neighbors gawked, some filming, some cheering the upgrade. I yanked Mom back as walls caved. Inside, I grabbed albums, Dad's medals, the quilt plaster raining down. Out front, the house folded like cards, dust choking the air. Mom sobbed into my chest. My everything. Barbara quipped. Values rise with change. Her fatal smugness. By afternoon, it was rubble. Mom numb on a neighbor's bench. I salvaged scraps. Barbara strutted. "You'll appreciate the new center." I stared daggers. "You just built your downfall." That night, at a friend's guest room, Mom slept fitfully. I plotted revealing my secret. I'm not just any son. I'm Judge Harlan Brooks, County Court. I kept it quiet for normalcy, but now, game on. Morning, filed an injunction halting work. Evidence stack. Fakes, kickbacks, emails ordering clear regardless. At the courthouse, I suited up. Mom's eyes lit. They have no clue. In session, the HOA crew filed in cocky till they saw me on the bench. Barbara blanched. Mark dropped his files. Karen's laser clattered. Susan gasped. Court in session. I laid charges: fraud, unlawful destruction, and fiduciary breach. Barbara stammered, "Misunderstanding." I fired back. Which part, the fakes or the payoffs? Witnesses poured out. Jenkins on his ramp fine, a dad on trampoline bands, the foreman admitting felt wrong seeing her cry. Evidence projected, bogus signatures, wired funds, Barbara's email, perceived safety pretext. The gallery buzzed. Neighbors vented years of gripes. Barbara cracked. We modernized. I thundered, not at lives' expense. Silence. Next day, sentencing, guilty on all counts. $450,000 restitution. Board dissolved. Hayes contracting banned. Barbara and Mark prosecuted. Karen and Susan on probation. Applause thundered. Mom beamed through tears. Neighbors hugged her. Headlines blared. HOA tyrants toppled. Funds flowed. We rebuilt Mom's house stronger, with Dad's knocker front and center. Volunteers swarmed. Lumber, paint, new garden. Move-in day, block party, grill smoking, kids laughing. Mom on the swing. Thought it ended, turns out, fresh start. Pine Ridge breathed, Freno, more petty fines, just community. Barbara and Mark faced jail. Others picked litter and vests. Justice didn't just punish, it healed. Mom squeezed my hand. Dad'd be proud. As stars dotted the sky, peace settled. If tyranny knocks again, it'll find us ready. What do you think were the HOA folks just doing their job, or pure bullies? Share your take in the comments below. Have you battled an overreaching group like this? Let's hear your side and opinions.